Hello, kitties. This is your Julie, the Crypt Keeper. And you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Welcome to Slasher Radio with your host Mikey Bones, Rob Humphrey, and Cass Lovecraft. What's going on, guys? We're getting close to Halloween.
I know. It's the best time of year.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting. I've had plenty of candy corn.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Why do you have to mention candy corn in the room? You know how I feel.
It is the ultimate Halloween treat. And if you don't like candy corn, you don't like Halloween.
That's not true.
That
yes,
is true.
Candy corn is synonymous with Halloween. Very true. But at the same time, candy corn sucks balls.
Candy corn is amazing.
Anyway, we are back. Last week we had Greg Nicotero on, which was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This week we are back with Tyler Main. I know we've given a bit of a rundown on our October, but as we have said several times throughout giving that rundown, that card's subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope the patrons aren't mad at us. And I say that because the Patreon week that we had lined up for this month that we were going to push up to kind of make sure that we got it in, we had a lot more. This is why I don't think they'll bet, because we had a lot of scheduling that, was ongoing, and then it was going to happen, it wasn't going to happen, and this, had to wait and all that shit. So it's a lot of lining up to do. But we do have an extra interview to really fill out the entire month of interviews. But obviously this Patreon pick that's going to be moved is not going to be gone forever. Like, we will make it up. It's just not going to be this month. But we have some really dope shit for you guys, and the patrons get it early. So, I don't think they'll be mad, right?
Yeah, it'll be fine, guys. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's October. We got a lot of cool stuff lined up.
Yeah.
The schedule changed, but it was because some cool shit presented itself.
It changed for the better.
Yeah.
So we are here this week with Tyler Main, and honestly, Tyler Main is one of he's like a modern. You know how we have the Nick Castles and the Greg Nicoteros and the Tom Savinis, those real legends. I feel like Tyler Main is like that new age of horror legend, horror icon, right?
Yeah, sure. Played Michael, dude. That's awesome.
That's what I'm saying. It played Michael, controversial movie, but has its fan base through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and that's something that we got into. Obviously, it's just one of those things when you touch a classic, things are going to be said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you don a mask of a Michael Myers, a Jason Voorhees, or anything like that, it's a huge deal. And he did it twice, too. It's not even like he was just a one-off. He was Rob Zombie's Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And was in talks for the third, which we're going to be getting into, the talks of a third Rob Zombie Halloween movie. We get into a ton of things about Tyler Main that a lot of people knew, and he expounded on a lot of things that people didn't know, including myself. Rob, you did not make this interview.
I did not, because you always schedule things when I can't be here.
You son of a bitch.
So while you guys were having fun talking to Tyler Main, I was at work trying to make a living.
Oh, my God.
As much as Rob is a hindrance to my entire existence, just as a general rule,
that seems unfair.
That seems underestimated.
I feel like I'm helpful sometimes. Most of the time, I'm very helpful.
Okay, there's that extra cheese. Yes, you are absolutely helpful sometimes. Most of the time, though, no. Most of the time, you are helpful to yourself in pissing me off. It's not helpful to me.
I like to feel like I'm the one who brings the fun.
You bring a lot of things. That is true. But yeah, it does suck that you missed out on this one. I feel like a lot of people are excited about this. Whenever you get to talk to one of those, like Tyler Main is one of the big ones, who was Michael Myers and embodied such a legendary character. It's a big deal. And we get into a lot of things with him. He's got a lot of new stuff coming out too that
cool.
everyone needs to go support. And we'll let Tyler explain all that to you. We'll catch you on the other side of all that, obviously. And before that, though, we do have some stuff before Tyler joins us. We got a mailbag to get to, drink roll call real quick we can run through, and then we will get you to the iconic Tyler Main. What are you guys drinking?
I am drinking a high-octane Diet Pepsi.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Did you not learn your lesson from last week? Is that what the high octane? Is that an energy drink?
No, it's just a regular Diet Pepsi. I was just trying to church it up some so you guys would think I was cool.
Oh, God. Last week, Rob drank an energy drink, no brand, no nothing. It had Michael Myers on an energy drink that he consumed at 1:30 in the morning. That thing almost killed you, dude.
It did.
Yeah. I've still got 2 of them in the refrigerator. I'm afraid to touch them.
Yeah.
That was wild.
You drank some moonshine energy drink, no liquor in it or nothing. It was just a moonshine version of an energy drink, and you almost died.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because I also then later I got sick, right? So maybe I was just already like kind of sick, and maybe it wasn't the energy drink. But I'm afraid to drink the other ones.
I don't blame you. You should be. All right. I also thought it was that damn. What was that shit that we drank that time? That nitro. What was it?
Oh, that Pepsi Nitro thing. Yeah.
Well, those fucking things. Okay, I thought it was one of those again too. All right, so it's just plain Pepsi.
No, it's plain Diet Pepsi.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
I
God.
gotta watch my calories, Mikey. I gotta keep my figure intact, you know.
Yeah, Daddy Rob.
Yeah, what'd you have for lunch today?
Chili.
Oh, okay, yeah. Worried about that figure. All right, good job, buddy. I am drinking. I'm gonna get to the end of this Angry Orchard thing. I'll be damned if I spent any money at all on something and didn't get my use out of it, but let alone knowing I spent way more money than Rob did.
I feel like you spent about $10 more than I did.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to get my money's worth now. I am drinking another one of my Angry Orchard, the Jason collab with Angry Orchard. And I'm drinking, I just reach into the box at this point. And whatever I get. I'm drinking the Berried Bewitched.
Are you coming around on the Angry Orchard any?
No, like I said last week with the Sinful Apple, I liked it, then I didn't like it. Now I like it again. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah. I've taken a few sips of this Berry Bewitched, and I don't hate it yet. Okay. I'm less angry at it, no pun intended, with the Angry Orchard than I was the last time I drank it. But you will see how it goes the further I get down. Cass, have you gone through any more of your Angry Orchards?
No, not yet. I'm getting there. I gotta take my time. I can't replenish them that easily.
You know what the problem is? She's drinking all this pumpkin spice crap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you should be drinking the Angry Orchard like an irresponsible adult, and you're not doing it. You're drinking fucking pumpkin spice.
You guys both need to go to World Market and get yourself some of those generic Michael Myers energy drinks and see what happens.
No, are you kidding me? No.
I need to know if it's the drink or not before I drink another one and die.
It is. It's definitely the drink.
Do not drink another one.
I'm probably going to drink that. I spent money on those. Plus, I haven't even tried the Chucky one yet. It's citrus flavor. It might be good.
That one might be the last nail, though, man. Do not drink it. Hold on. Rob, you almost died.
But we don't know it was the energy drink. It could have been any number of things.
Do you remember how you were acting after you drank it on the show?
No, I was fine.
Are you sure?
Don't drink it.
Everything was fine.
Don't drink it.
You're in a big tunnel, Mikey. You're extra echoey this time around. I'm trying to
save his luck. Come on, man. No, we can't drink that shit.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. It'll be all right. Because it literally could have been anything. I mean, I'm old, right? Anything could have been going on with this old-ass, broken-down body, right?
It's true, but you were acting a little goofy for no reason. If it had liquor in it, all right, fine, normal, got it. But you were, drunk off of energy drink.
It was funny.
It was. Cass, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking water.
For crying out loud.
Responsible adult. Y'all are telling me I have a drinking problem, so I'm drinking water.
I might have said that on Greg's Live.
I gotta send you a picture. Because my water bottle is the label says real Canadian on it.
Oh wow. Yeah, we gotta see that.
Oh, hold on a second. Cass. Yeah. Why would you drink out of a cup that says real Canadian?
Send you a picture.
Don't. I don't want to see it. We already called you Canada. Was it necessary to have that cup?
I have no choice. I'm not gonna get fucking Dasani. Who likes Dasani water? That shit's gross.
Oh, what is it with Dasani water? How do they make water gross?
I don't know, but I'm gonna take a picture right now so you guys can see and live react.
Oh, great.
Hold up.
Yeah. All the visuals do go up on the Patreon too, by the way. So, patreon.com/radio if you'd like to get a little extra experience of the show, including an extra show every week, ad-free viewing. Oh, real quick, but before we go forward, I feel like this is worth mentioning on the show. The episodes going up on YouTube, right? The regular show goes up on YouTube every week.
Yeah.
It's going to be in a different spot.
Ours in the chat.
We don't have a chat. You cannot put ours in the chat. So the episodes will still be going up on YouTube, right? The regular weekly episodes like this one. But they're going to be in a different spot. They're not going to be like just on the regular video feed because algorithms and things. I've been noticing ever since the show started going up on the regular feed, like just the regular videos for the YouTube, the Slasher Radio YouTube channel feed. Our numbers have been very different. And when people see a 2-hour video of a static image on YouTube, not really something they're going to sit through, you know? So clicks are down, views are down. Apparently, I looked into it a bit too before I made the decision. Apparently, YouTube does see that you're uploading static images to your feed. That also affects it. So they will still be on the Slasher Radio YouTube channel. You still will be able to listen to the shows on the YouTube, but they will be like in the podcast tab, if that makes sense. Anyone who uses YouTube, or Rob is confused right now, but anyone who knows how to use YouTube,
I was going to say, you lost me.
Yeah. So instead of they're not gone off the YouTube forever. I know Godzilla likes to watch the shows on there. Probably a couple other people. We've been getting some interactions. We appreciate you guys listening to the show on YouTube, but it's just going to be a different spot. It's better for the overall channel. Believe me, when I tell you that, because I mean, you're like, damn, dude, it's been like very, very low, and I'm like, what happened? So they're still going to be on YouTube though, so you still can just go to the podcast tab. They'll be there for you. Don't worry about it. I believe you can subscribe to the like the playlist that they're on, so that you won't miss a beat. But they're still on there. They're just in a different spot. Don't be alarmed. They're not gone forever. I'll probably make a post on there as well so people know. But worth mentioning on the show.
Yeah.
What
also,
the fuck is this?
Worth mentioning
Ours
on the
in
show.
Chat.
I'm very disappointed in Cass. I was so expecting a Screaming Sicilian mustache to be on that water bottle.
Okay, hold on. While we're on that topic, I literally saw them in Walmart, had 2 of them in my hand, mainly just to bring home the mustache to piss off Mikey. And I didn't have enough room in my cooler bag for them to bring them home from across the border. So I had to put it back, which is the saddest thing ever. But my goal is the next time when I'm down south, I'm going to purposely get it while I'm staying at my friend's place.
South.
Yeah, that is heartbreaking. You got to get yourself a mustache.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to, or I'm just going to get my friend to like go and buy pizza and like, give me the mustache when I see them next. So, yeah. But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine your life being like when you have to go shopping, you have to immigrate to another country and worry about what you can fit in a cooler bag to bring back. And you know what, though? I am shocked but happy that pissing me off and annoying me did not, make you throw away a couple of the pumpkin spice things that you had in that cooler bag.
I had so much. Oh, my God. It was wild. I went nuts. All Americans have good snacks. What can I say?
Yeah, I do see a real Canadian water. That's fucking crazy, dude. That's absolutely wild.
Real Canadian.
That's what it says on the water bottle.
Natural spring water.
Yeah, and then it says it like in French.
Sourced in Ontario.
This is water CA, is what this is right here.
Yep.
Unreal. All right. Well, kudos. We've never had such a discussion off of water. Absolutely thrilling conversation right there. All right, well, let's get through the mailbag real quick. 917-397-KILLED.
Trace the call. It's coming from inside the house.
That's 917-397-5455. You can send it a text message for the show. Voicemail for the show. All the voicemails get aired, and we will discuss them. Everybody can hear them. All the text messages will get read by Ghostface. A good way of getting into the mailbag as well. You can do it through Patreon. You leave a comment directly on the episode. We'll throw them into the mailbag. Also, YouTube. If you comment on one of the podcast episodes, we'll throw them into the mailbag as well. We do have a voicemail this week.
Hell of a
For
deal.
better and worse. Yeah, well, you say that now.
Yeah.
For better and worse, we know who this is voicemails from. This gentleman has made us aware that he was sending this in. And it's going to be a voicemail from Greg.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I love it, gabagool.
You're not excited anymore, are you? Oh, God.
Hey, we bonded over some good movie choices today, so.
Cass, it's not good to agree with Greg on movies.
Greg hates me, so whenever Greg is like positive towards me in the slightest, I get happy. So
Greg hates me too. It's part of the Greg of it all. It's kind of the way it goes.
The Gregory.
The Gregory of it.
Mm-hmm.
I did the spiel, right? Okay. So here is the mailbag. Oh, shit.
Back again, are we? Can't stay away from the madness. You got questions. I've got answers. And maybe a few blades to sharpen along the way. Let's open the mailbag. The first message is from Spyro. This interview was so good. Thanks for bringing it to us. I really liked Rob's takes on the interview. On point. Oh my God. Remind me to never take Cassie to horror movie trivia night. Damn.
Wow. Little shot of Cass there.
He said the wrong name, so I'm not acknowledging that.
I think he said the name he meant to say. I mean, it's wrong is depending on the beholder of this message. Thank you very much for the kind messages, Spyro. The conversation with Greg was absolutely amazing. He has an aura of him that is just unmatched. Like every time that I get to talk to him, it's just that I can't explain it. You know, he's just got like that history of the horror genre radiates off of the man. Just naturally. Like he doesn't mean to do it. He's not trying to do it. It's just there, and it's so strong, and his passion's so strong for this genre. It just radiates off of. And I love any chance that we get to talk to him. It was absolutely great. I'm glad you enjoyed it too, Spyro. Hope everybody did. The second half of Spyro's message is referring to the Patreon show from last week.
Mm-hmm.
Cass, do you have anything to respond to Spyro about?
Listen, I am a trivia nerd. I'm so good when it comes to trivia, and especially horror movie trivia, so fuck you for not wanting me to be your partner. That's your loss. But yeah, you know, we talked about this earlier when we were going over things, and I said that I would gladly do a part 2 of that episode just because so many people found it entertaining to see me suffer. So, you know, there's a part 2 coming in the future, but fuck that episode. Fuck that challenge. Fuck that game. Fuck Rob. Fuck Mikey and Beetlejuice.
All I did was put together a game that I thought was fair and fun for everybody. It's not my fault you sucked at it.
It was just not my night. It really, really was not my night.
The game that we're referring to is that we played on the Patreon last week. Like I said, you get an extra show every week. Sometimes we play games, go through lists, all kinds of different things. We played a game called something Christian horror movie trivia, where Rob will read off a review from a Christian movie review website about a horror movie, and we got to guess which movie it applies to. Some of them are impossible, but very much of them are not. And I whooped Cass's ass, to put it bluntly. And I'm glad you brought that to the light, Spyro, on the main show. I appreciate that very much.
He likes my suffering. What can I say?
All right. Next message.
The next message is from IR Chris. An 11-hour episode? Did you kidnap Greg? Was he allowed to eventually leave Casanata's basement?
Oh, gosh.
Little Cass spending all her loonies on Who's of the Dead.
Oh my gosh.
Rob, does Ghostface saying house does it do it for you?
That makes me so happy. All
right. A little context here, because I don't even know if Rob and Cass know exactly what Chris is talking about. Look, I just set up a new PC. Some of my export settings, like I have to redo. CapCut is not the easiest program in the world to use. A little buggy. Kind of mad at it right now. So the exporting of the Greg Nicotero interview, the videos, even the audio files, like I had forgot what settings I had. They were exporting too large to upload. It was a fucking nightmare that I was up until 5 o'clock in the morning, having to be up at 7 something the next day trying to figure out. So it was a fucking nightmare. I was having trouble. I was uploading and they weren't they were too large, and then I had to change and re-upload, delete, rename, all these things. I accidentally, there was like, Rob will probably know, anyone who's edited audio on any level or messed with it would know, if you leave like a small piece of audio somewhere way down the line, the timeline of the project, it'll export, way down there. And one of them was an 11-hour, because there was a small piece of audio at that 11-hour mark. And Chris he had said something in the Discord about it as well, that he looked at his phone for the new episode and seen 11 hours. And he thought we kidnapped Greg Nicotero.
All right, guys, listen. We got a new goal now.
No.
11-hour episode. We're going to do it at some point.
No. I'm not dealing with you for 11 hours.
It's going to be so much fun.
I think we should do like 11-hour like live stream somewhere.
No.
And just like
the both of you for 11 hours.
That's fine. And we can have special guests on, like we can bring the Throb Father on.
No,
but he's bad for numbers.
That kid is bad for numbers. We're not bringing him on.
Yeah, that thing will bomb.
We can have Chris on again, the world's best host with the best cheeks.
All right.
We can have a bunch of people on the show.
but Ghostface saying "who's" was just that.
That was perfect. That was good.
I think you need to make like a soundbite clip of that, just so that you can play it on your like fucking thing. We're all online.
That would be fun.
Past spending all her loonies on Who's of the Dead.
That's great.
Who's?
The next message is from Carly. Read The Conjuring. Don't worry, Chris. I am well aware the Warrens were not particularly stand-up individuals. I always tell people that I love fictional Ed and Lorraine, but the real folks, not so much. The Conjuring 2 is actually also my absolute favorite in the franchise. Funny enough, the Enfield horror is also one of my favorite real-life haunting cases, so I'm well aware how dramatically fictionalized TC2 is.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there, because looking ahead in Ghostface Mailbag,
Mm-hmm.
Harley kind of hit on some topics, and we were talking about The Conjuring. The Conjuring always seems to come up one way or another. But she does hit in a couple of movies that we've done recently, kind of giving her thoughts on it. And I believe we've asked her as well to follow us, so thank you for following up on this, Carly. You could have left out The Conjuring, though.
We cannot gloss over the fact that she called it TC2.
Yeah.
Come on.
We ain't doing that, Carly.
Yeah,
doing
come
that.
On. Come on, Carly.
Like a version of the Terminator.
Yeah. You're saying The Conjuring 2 is the best in the franchise. That to me, listening to that, me being me and how I feel, everybody knows how I feel about The Conjuring. I hate it so much. That doesn't say anything. Yeah, and that's part of the thing that annoys me so much about the Warrens is, like, their whole claim to fame to squeeze them into relevancy for these Conjuring movies, to hype them up the way they did, was, they worked on Amityville. No, they fucking barely didn't. And if you hear a lot of shit and you read a lot of shit, but if what I read was correct, they pretty much got thrown off of that shit. So, like, yeah, the Warrens, it's absolutely absurd, the pedestal that these Conjuring films put them up on. And the movies are just bad. That's how I feel. And Carly, I'm very upset with you, because I value your opinion greatly when it comes to a lot of things, especially horror movies, and you keep breaking my heart with these damn Conjuring movies.
Yeah, look, Carly, I'm with you, though. I also like TC2.
Now, we're going to call it that now? We're going to continue that?
I also enjoyed TC1.
Uh-huh.
I did not care for TC3.
Can we not call it TC?
I've not seen TC4 yet, so I don't know. I don't know. I kind of hated it when she said it, but then I'm kind of enjoying running with it a little bit.
You enjoy it because it's annoying the shit out of me.
Yes, that I think is the key to it. I think Carly's really on to something. She's a trendsetter.
You son of a bitch. All right, the rest of Carly's message.
The sadness. For me, the sadness was frankly a cheap, creatively, not production-wise, attempt from crypto and porn bros to make a movie with no other purpose than to shock and disgust audiences. It lacks any of the love, charm, and whimsy that I feel are crucial to the horror genre. I'll even admit that Art the Clown is a character, played with so much love and passion, that even though I don't like Terrifier, I have respect and appreciation for those who made it. Knowing the industries the producers of the sadness come from, I will say, I do not have any respect or appreciation for them.
Okay. I'm unaware. Rob, do you know the industry they come from and all these
Exactly
things?
what she said. Exactly what she said. It's crypto bros and porn producers. Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree with you, Carly. I also did not like TS.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Yeah, I mean, it kind of showed, you know. I mean, obviously, I wasn't aware. When I don't like a movie, and I know that I have a lot to say about it, especially, like, I'm going to be honest, a little peek behind the curtain of kind of doing these things. If it's like a mid-movie or I don't really have much to say about it, and I know Robin casts pretty well, so, like, if I feel like it's going to be a lower distance conversation, I'll look up some shit to talk about, you know. But when I have a ton to say and I don't want the episode to be 4 hours, you know, like I don't need to research. I know exactly what I want to talk about with certain things, sadness being one of them. And I don't care who made this because it's not like I'm going to go back and say, oh, I need to see what else they've done. No, I'm good. This can be the last movie from them that I see and I'm good. So yeah, I didn't look into that. I'm glad you brought it up though, Carly. That's nice to know that, you know, kind of what you see is what you get from the people who made this thing.
You better start researching for that 11-hour episode we're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with you two for 11 hours.
It's going to be fun, Mikey.
I think it's going to be a good time.
We're all going to get loaded on Michael Myers energy drinks and go for 11 hours.
Dude, you know how many R's can be in the chat over 11 hours?
Oh, God.
If we're live streaming? Like, I think that we got to make it happen.
Sounds like a terrible time. All right, the rest of Carly's message.
Weapon sorry. Rob, let's work it out on the remix. That's a Charlie XCX joke. I had high hopes for Weapons, and I can admire its production, and even the majority of performances. It just wasn't nearly as entertaining to me as Barbarian. Sorry for leaving Ghostface a novel to read to y'all.
Okay.
All right. Not finishing real strong there, Carly. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what Carly scored it, the movie Weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I think even we talked about it. I see it brought up a lot where they compare it to Barbarian, and it's kind of not fair because they're very different style of movie.
Yeah, but that's gonna happen. I mean, like it's not fair, but it's just that's what's gonna happen because Barbarian was a pretty divisive movie actually, but it was very well, you know, it was a lot of people saw it.
Yeah,
it got a big reaction one way or another from people. And so, you know, when Weapons comes out, everybody's excited. Oh, it's the movie, you know, the next one from the guy who made Barbarian. And so, of course, there's going to be comparisons. I tried really hard not to do that going into the theater. I think I even said that on the episode. I was just like, don't expect Barbarian, you know, because I didn't want to get my hopes up too high for it. But I still thought it's a really good movie.
You see, I hated Barbarian, like we talked about.
Cass,
so,
stop
Weapons
saying that out loud. Swear to God.
Titty Milk, remember, Mikey?
Why you gotta bring my name into that?
Because I'm gonna buy you that Waxworks record, because Titty Milk.
God damn it, that's so gross. And see, that's the thing, like, I like Barbarian a lot. I don't remember off the top of my head what I gave it for a score, because I believe we did it on here. But
We did. We talked about Barbarian. We did an episode on it.
So, if I had to pick between the two movies to watch, I'd probably pick Weapons more than Barbarian. And it doesn't let me hold on. It doesn't say, that's not to say I don't like Barbarian or I like Weapons more than Barbarian. It's just more like Weapons is an easier watch.
See, I think Barbarian's an easier watch. I think Barbarian's a ton of fun.
It is, but it's also gross. You know, like Weapons isn't gross for the most part. So like that, there's no titty milk in Weapons, which is nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say no titty milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing there's no titty milk because there's too many kids in that movie.
Well, yeah, that's a point too. But there's a good thing there's no titty milk because no one wants fucking titty milk in their damn movies. Is another thing. But either way, it's hard because I like both the movies a lot. But I'd be interested to see because Carly just wasn't as entertained by it. Like, it seems like the letdown of it all might be what pisses Carly off, and that's valid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because that's happened to me a bunch of times. But, you know, I'd be interested to see what she would give it overall. It sounds like maybe in like a 5 or 6 area, if I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Let us know.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Mikey, I gave Barbarian an 8.7, and you gave it a 7.4.
Did you find your way into the noise?
Yeah, when I want to find something, I can.
Oh, you have access all of a sudden. That's crazy. I gave it an 8.4. Okay, yeah. I mean, I like Barbarian a lot.
No, you gave it a 7.4.
I give it a 2.
Damn.
Cass, I swear to God.
I'm kidding. Relax, man.
I might have been a little low. That sounds a lot. That might have been, but yeah. I mean, they're two great movies, though. So like, you win-win having to watch either one of them is the way I look at it. But just very different. Thank you for the breakdown, though, Carly. See, this is what we need more of, man. We want to know what you guys think about the movies that we talk about. You know, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, let us know. I'm curious what she scores it.
Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready for the darker portion of the mailbag?
Oh, God.
Oh, God is right. We have a voicemail. It's from Greg. These are something that we like to call Greg's Hot Take Corner. So, Darth Gregor on TikTok, too. Me and Rob just actually did, Greg does a TikTok live every week on there.
I had a perfect list for his show.
No, mine was the stellar list. Yeah.
You know, and if I was invited, my list would have been better than both of yours, so.
That's not true. Your list would have, Rob's list was bad enough, but.
You had a certain person way too high on your list, Mikey, that I do not agree with.
Yeah, we have an interview with a franchise star coming up. Would you happen to be talking about Sienna Shaw, Cassandra?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Shame on you. Shame on. But anyway, so yeah, at Darth Gregor on TikTok, you can check him out. He is known as the hot take man around these parts. His takes on movies are awful. Like, that's just putting it nicely. They're absolutely terrible. And talking to Greg about horror movies is very frustrating. And I like to refer to it as a hot take landmine that you walk through every time you talk to Greg about horror movies. And they just go off periodically, all around you. So anyway, without further ado, here is Greg's voicemail.
Hello, Michael. Hello, Robert. Hello, Cassiopeia. It is I, Darth Gregor, back from the depth with another hot take for you guys. Being that this is spooky season, here's a list of horror movies that are worse than Rob Zombie's Halloween. So in essence, every single movie I list now is worse than Rob Zombie's Halloween. John Carpenter's Halloween, Talk to Me, Benny Loves You, The Bride of Frankenstein,
Oh,
Midsommar, Hereditary, The Blair Witch Project, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, The Shining, Black Christmas, and Psycho from 1960.
whoa.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, my God. That was a personal attack.
I would say none
That's a
of
very,
those
very
movies
specific personal attack.
are worse than Rob Zombie's Halloween. Not a single one he listed, unless he's talking about Black Christmas 2019.
I doubt that he is. Yeah, see, the thing is here, Cash, you're right. That was, a lot of these movies are targeted attacks. Targeted, specifically. So, honestly, I've said this a million. Rob Zombie's Halloween is super divisive, right? Everybody knows that. But I think the movie, as a slasher film, was so well made for what it was, you know, the vibe it was going for and all these things, that if it was its own thing, it would have been strong enough to spawn its own franchise of a brand new slasher and a modern day iconic franchise in the horror, especially the slasher subgenre, right? But it was not. And man, he's listing some heavy, like these movies. It's almost unfair because they're so different than what Rob Zombie's Halloween movies are.
Mm-hmm.
Like Midsommar. Like, how the hell do you begin to compare Midsommar to Rob Zombie's Halloween? But
It's wild.
Tyler, if you're listening to this, this is like this is honestly high praise from Greg for the Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween movie. But
yeah,
honestly though, like, I would rather watch Rob Zombie's Halloween than The Shining. Honestly,
maybe The Shining. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't like The Shining.
I'd rather watch Rob Zombie's Halloween than Hereditary. I know that's gonna make Rob bad.
That's just wrong. Hereditary is amazing.
No, half of Hereditary is very good.
Hereditary is awesome. The entire thing, 100% of it.
You know what? This might piss Cass off, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, but I'd rather watch it. I'd rather watch Rob Zombie's Halloween over Midsommar.
Midsommar, great movie, visually stunning. Love Florence Pugh, but like I don't need.
What are we talking about? Midsommar's amazing.
I know it's a good movie, but I just don't know if I'd want to watch it again.
Oh
like there's certain things
you would rather watch
like,
Rob Zombie's Halloween than Midsommar.
We should do a double feature one night and watch both back to back.
No one has ever done a double feature of those two movies.
It just I
Shout
can't
out
even
to Greg for the great idea.
I can't even conceive of a Rob Zombie Ari Aster double feature like any of their movies.
You picked any of them right, yeah. What the fuck mashup is that?
It's an interesting one. That's what it is.
Yeah. Bride of Frankenstein's in there, Cass. How do you feel? But that one was right at you.
Yeah. He knows how much I love the Bride. To each their own.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
But there's a lot of great movies on here, man. Talk to Me is such a great movie. Benny Loves You, so much fun.
We know how Mikey feels about Talk to Me.
We know how much Mikey loves Talk to Me, honestly.
Cassandra. Sonata?
It's like that movie's just inside of him, you know?
Seriously, I feel like every single time we sit down to record, there is a new nickname for me. It just keeps growing every fucking week.
Yeah,
I should do like I should
Casatopipa? What did he call you?
Castopia or something. I don't know, but I think we need to have like a Cass Awards. Like y'all need to come up with the most crazy obscure name for me. And
I mean, somebody could win a Slashy for that this year. We don't know.
Yeah, we should do that.
I mean, it'll probably be me.
It's getting.
Why do you give me extra work to do? Why you gotta do that? It is kind of funny though that the bit has become to just make up shit with your name. Is kind of funny.
Like it's every week it's different. Like I don't think that there's been a single week where someone's done a repeat. Like even Rob, where he does a repeat of the name, he changes it up in some capacity, so it's not just exactly the same. The creativity in this group is wild.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to say. And like Greg just like it had nothing to do with nothing. And like at least Cassandra does like, okay, I get it. And Chris had one, which was kind of funny. But it's like, Greg just threw something random out there. Kind of respect it though. Yeah.
Wild.
All right. Well, that was a wild voicemail, Greg. We appreciate it. Again, everybody go check out Darth Gregor on TikTok, horror shorts and TikTok. And is it like wrong to call TikTok shorts? Like, isn't that a beef between them and you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like TikTok, everybody knows it's just short form videos. Everybody knows that. It's fine.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm too old to call them like, go check out his TikToks. I feel like I'm too old for that, right?
You are. I could get away with it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It just sounds cool when I say stuff like that.
Yeah, because Rob always sounds balls.
I'm not even your god. Yeah. What was I going to say? That the balls of it all just threw the fuck off. Yeah, so that's the voicemail for this week. All right, we are going to kick you guys over to the discussion with Tyler Main.
I can't wait to hear how you guys screwed this up without me around.
This was a very fun conversation, okay?
It was.
All right, so we're going to kick you guys over to that. I really think that you guys are going to enjoy this one. I've heard a lot of Tyler Main interviews over the years, and I feel like he really kicked his feet up, and we had a lot. I hope he had as much fun as we did talking to him about these things. And he's got a lot of cool stuff coming out, too. So keep your eyes and ears open for those things. And we'll catch you on the other side.
Dude, why you got to play that voicemail on this episode, knowing I can't go off?
You knew what I told him. You were there when I told him that he should do this. I didn't think he was going to, put us in this position. I thought he was just going to pick random fucking...
Don't think I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, fuck it. I could just say whatever I want. I don't know this guy.
It's not nice. All right. Notes.
Oh, no, you didn't send them to me.
Yeah. Because you weren't going to fucking read them anyway. So, yeah, why bother? Did you read the last ones, Rob?
Of course.
Yeah?
I read it front to back. All of it.
Who was the interview for that I sent him?
Ben Goodwin.
No, wrong. I don't even know where the fuck you got that name from. Where you just go with that?
Just made it up.
Are we done recording?
We're just going to say goodbye
real quick. We got to do the out, Cass.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, there you are. Hey, man, what's going on?
I'm just hanging in there. How you doing?
I feel that, man. Good. Thank you so much for hopping on with us, dude. We appreciate it so much.
I did my makeup. I got all ready, no, I'm kidding.
Don't send us the wardrobe and then the makeup bill, though.
Right?
A couple of years, well, quite a few years ago now, actually, around when I first started this show, my sister for Christmas got me a cameo from you for a Christmas gift. And you said you were very nice. It was awesome. I cherish that to this day. I still show people. Holy shit, look at this. You said during the cameo that, she, I guess, put in there that we have this show and that I should have you on as a guest. And here we are all these years later, which is wild.
Well, Mike, what the hell took you so long?
I tried, dude. You are a hard man to track down. I tried.
Well, I'm busy, knock on wood. That's a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, busy is always good. The internet is the internet. So correct me if any of this is wrong. But I read that you got into acting and it was a total by chance thing after you got a role in Starfighter, which was a wrestling movie. Is that true?
Well, it was always a plan to become a wrestler because growing up as a kid in Saskatchewan, tall, skinny kid, glasses, braces, slightly dyslexic, what I would do is I would watch Stampede Wrestling, professional wrestling Saturday morning, and then all weekend long I'd watch action films and whatever I could watch, and then end it all Sunday night with The Wonderful World of Disney. It'd be either whatever it was, Tom Sawyer or Davy Crockett, whatever, and then you have to go back to school. But so I always had the plan that I wanted to become an actor and a professional wrestler. And of course, back then, everybody's like, oh, yeah, good luck,
Yeah.
So I started working out and got in shape and ended up wrestling, started training with Stu Hart in the dungeon a little bit.
Really?
And then moved to the States and was trained by Red Bastien and Mondo Guerrero. And I did go wrestle in Mexico for just about 2 years and had the opportunity to do one of those Mexican wrestling movies. And from that, I realized, I'm not getting dropped on my head. They're feeding me well and paying me. So I was like, hey, this is a lot better than the pro wrestling. So I had to figure out how to transition fully. And then when X-Men came along, I hung up my wrestling boots and I've been doing the acting ever since.
Okay, I knew that you have a wrestling background, right? And I grew up the same way as you, Tyler. I loved wrestling. My prime was like the 90s, Attitude Era, right before it, right into it. That was, I know that feeling of when you go to school and you talk to all your friends about, because there was no internet really back then, well, my time, where you could just chat with your friends about what was going on. It was more so you go to school and you talk about everything and have that debate. And like, that was really fun growing up as a wrestling fan in school. I didn't know you trained with Stu Hart. That's wild.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was really interesting, man. It's, you go down and you hear all these stories about the dungeon and all of them are real.
Yeah.
It's, I was like, Stu, how are we going to practice? How are we going to do suplexes and stuff in here, And Stu was like, kid, you got a lot to learn before you get to that stage. Come here, kid. Let me show you a double grapevine. And I would be squealing, It's, there was a lot to learn before you get to the bumping.
Yeah. Cass, welcome in, by the way. Cass Tyler. This is my co-host.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Cass, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great.
Cass, we're talking wrestling. All right.
Awesome.
You were tag team with Vinny Vegas, who obviously went on to be Kevin Nash, and one of my favorites of all time. So like, I'm gonna mark out a little bit, to use the term. Yeah. What was that experience like? Because obviously he wasn't Kevin Nash yet, and you guys were on the road as a tag team, but he showed so much promise, and you were a big part of that because you're his dancing partner. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was just, we got thrown together and had some great matches and stuff, and we're working our way up. and then he got recruited to WWF at the time and became Diesel. And then I was kind of hung a little bit in limbo, but I was lucky enough to be able to go wrestle all over the world. From that, I think I went to Japan and ended up being one of the last people, or if not the last person, to wrestle Andre the Giant before he passed away in 1993.
Oh, fucking
So yeah, it's so we both took different paths, and we both ended up doing pretty darn good. He stuck with the wrestling more. I went to the acting, and now right. I just love. We run into each other at conventions every once in a while, and we're like, we got to do something with each other again. Like do a TV show or something. So we're always talking about something like that, coming up with ideas and seeing what works.
And so I don't even know which way to go here, because I had a whole list of shit that I wanted to ask you, and now you're throwing all this at me. And it's got to be like, how do you feel? Because, obviously everybody talks about Halloween and, all these great films and roles that you've had, and rightfully so. But do you feel that you're wrestling? Because I didn't, shame on me too. I'm included in this. I didn't look into it as extensively as I should have. Is that something that you kind of wish was more talked about when you get brought up?
No, the way I look at my wrestling career, I did it for like 11 and a half years. All got to wrestle all over the world, wrestle a lot of top stars. It was during the Attitude. And I got to work with a lot of people, man. Like I worked with The Rock's dad 15 years before I did the Scorpion King with The Rock,
Right.
And I'm walking into Universal Studios dressed as the Barbarian Chieftain, and out comes Rocky Johnson. He's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm getting ready to work with the kiddo, man. And he just laughed, and he goes, "Have you met Dwayne yet?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Come on." And then it was just, Rocky Johnson, myself, and Dwayne just sitting there talking. And that was my first introduction with Dwayne, So I've been very, very lucky to meet a lot of great people, work with a lot of great people in the business. And like I say, it was a great stepping stone to where I am now. Now that I have my own production company, we're doing really cool things. So I'm very lucky and blessed.
Yeah. Well, lucky, everything has to do with luck. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, also very talented and earned these things. I think that's worth mentioning too. Deserved is another word to go next to luck. What was it like wrestling Andre the Giant? Because obviously, towards the end of his career, any wrestling fan knows, the decline in him because his health and everything.
Yeah.
But what was that experience like? What was it like being in the ring with him? I need to know about that.
Yeah, like he was at the at the end and I was lucky enough to be the one. He said, "Hey, boss, you mind if I pin you?" And I'm like, "No problem. I'd love it."
Right.
And well, be careful what you wish for. He's a very heavy man, and he just landed on me at the end of he said, "Thank you, boss. Thank you." I'm like, "Oh God, get off." He was like, I don't know, 500. I don't know how big he was, but he's like, "Just a minute, boss. 3 count. Thank you." So it was but yeah, working with him in the ring, it was just you bounce off of him, make him look good, make yourself look as good as you can, and away you go. And of course, it was in the Tokyo Dome, so
right.
It was iconic.
Yeah, very iconic venue, iconic opponent. Yeah. Obviously, that's incredible. That must have been a long 3 seconds with a guy that big on you, though.
That was, yeah. It was a tag. It was a tag match. It was Andre and Giant Baba and me and my partner. So I got to work with both of them. It was a great experience.
Yeah. And I'm looking too, as you're talking about this, it does look like that was his last match.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That must be. Imagine to pat you on the back a little bit just by saying it. Imagine having such a career where that's not even mentioned, really. In the grand scheme of your work, like that's so not talked about, and that's insane.
Yeah, that just slides right under the radar, doesn't it?
Holy shit. Yeah, mine too. Like I did a lot of looking on you, and I, big fan for so long, known a lot of shit. I'm like, I'm not gonna learn anything new. Here the fuck we are.
First question, we learned something new.
Hell yeah. But I love that. Like that. I love that so much. But you mentioned you have a production company now, Main Entertainment.
Yeah.
What is it like transitioning and shifting that gear from being on camera and the grind of acting and everything that goes into that to now running everything else that people don't notice and all the hard work that goes into that? What's that been like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a heck of a journey. You know, through Main Entertainment, we've done 2 features. We did Compound Fracture and Penance Lane that are both out there that you can take a look at. And what we're doing now, I've transitioned into doing graphic novels because my wife, Renee Geerlings, she was the editor-in-chief of Top Cow Comic Books, working with Mark Silvestri and that for over a decade. Worked on Witchblade, Wanted, Fathom, all these top tier books for them. And I had this project come across my my table about 15 years ago. It's called The Last Spartan, written by John F. Saunders. And I was talking with John, and he said, I said I'd really like to try and turn this into a movie, and he was all for it. And then so we've been talking and updating the world and making it more modern now. But The Last Spartan Red Tape is a graphic novel that deals with human trafficking and human trafficking awareness. Mm-hmm. And it is written by Christopher Priest and myself. Christopher Priest wrote Black Panther, Punisher, Vampirella, Captain America, Superman, tons of stuff. He's Eisner-nominated writer. We have a Mark Silvestri cover for this. Interior is Will Conrad, Jimbo Salgado, Michael Montnot. So they're all top tier artists. Worked on X-Men, Wolverine, G.I. Joe, Red Sonja. I mean, all top tier throughout.
Right.
And as I said, it is a graphic novel that deals with human trafficking awareness. And I was like, with doing the research, how can I give back? Because this is some serious stuff. And doing our research, I checked into some organizations, and we've teamed up with deliverfund.org, an organization that helps law enforcement develop technology to catch the bad guys. So this book is going into comic book shops in mid-October, and a portion of the proceeds are going to deliverfund.org to help put an end to human trafficking. So if anybody out there is a comic book fanatic or just wants to help out, please check it out. Go to your local comic book shop and ask them to bring in The Last Spartan Red Tape. Or if you do not go to a local comic book shop, you can go to thelastspartan.com. You can go to tylermain.com. You can go to mainentertainment.com, and it will take you all to the links to get this graphic novel.
Yeah, I was going to throw that out there, that it's also available online too, because a lot of people shop online, myself included, I guess. But yeah, that's definitely, and all the links to that, everyone who's listening to this will be in the description of everything this is on. So there's no excuse to not go get that. What is it like kind of backing up what you're doing? Like you have a project, you guys are saying something meaningful, which is super important. And I love to see that. But then you went that extra step in saying, you know what, now we're not only going to talk about it and bring awareness to it, we're going to help fund and do our part in what we can do and actually trying to stop these things. How important to you was that extra step? Because that's a big step that you don't see often at all, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like I say, we're just doing the research and just seeing how serious this subject is, and going to conventions and meeting people. When I go to a convention, there's usually 1, 2, 3 people that this is personally affected. In various different ways, either the first responders say, hey, thank you for doing something like this because it is very serious, and they are dealing with it out in the field. And at one convention, I ran into a gentleman that said his niece was just about trafficked. And, they drugged her in a club and was taking her out the back door. And luckily, one of the bouncers realized what was going on and beat the hell out of the one guy. The other guy ran off. He saved the girl. But through the technology that they had, the cameras and everything all around, they were able to trace this guy back to where he was. And they found 3 other women drugged and handcuffed in a hotel room getting ready to be trafficked. And she was the 4th. So he said, thank you for bringing awareness to this because I just about lost my niece to this, and that's just one of the many horror stories that I have heard. So I had to figure out how I was going to give back. It's something that is, human rights are it's terrifying to think that anybody could do that to another human being.
Yeah. And kudos. And that's the thing. Like we hear, a lot of actors will say, like going to these cons and meeting people and getting that personal time with them and being able to share that, but actually taking action is a whole nother story. So, that's awesome that you're doing that, man. That speaks volumes to your character and your intent with these projects and how important they can be. A lot of people just brush things off as movies or books and, that's all they are, but there's impact on people's lives with these things. And I love that you recognize that.
Yeah, I mean that is the real horror in the world, It's you just by doing the research and talking to Nick McKinley at Deliver Fund and hearing some of the stories and because he's an ex-CIA operative, and you just realize how serious of a problem this is, and most people, out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah.
And it's something that we got to be aware of.
100%. Yeah, for sure. And even with Main Entertainment, you have movies like Penance Lane and Compound Fracture that you mentioned. You're also an actor in these movies too. So you're pulling double, triple, quadruple duty with this. How much of a different experience is that? Because obviously, very storied actor, resume through the roof, all these things, sure. But now you're running the production of this and taking on this role in these projects. How much more is that on you? And how important is it for you to get in there and make sure you're taking the weight of your own project on screen now?
Yeah, you have full control of the product and the project. And I like it because then I can do what I want to do, and because I know what I'm capable of doing and want to take it to the fullest extent. When you're doing a picture for someone else, you're kind of playing by their rules and playing in their sandbox, so to speak. And I wanted to do and create characters that are intense and compelling to other people, and I've just started that journey, and hopefully with the Last Spartan Red Tape, we can get enough people following this and turn it into a TV series and keep raising awareness, because Frank Kane, the character in there, is a character that I would really love to play.
And it's awesome because the more people, talking to everyone who's listening to this right now, who get behind something and it looks like a great project, all the stuff that we just talked about with hitting the actual cause, that sends it through the roof of why this should be supported. But also just the content itself looks great. And there's so many opportunities for, like, have you thought that far into it yet, where streaming services are a thing now? Like the landscape for series is so different than what it used to be.
Yeah, the landscape is forever changing, and what we're doing right now is I've been wanting to make this a project that's ongoing. We have actually another issue after this one. This one's hitting comic book shops in mid-October, Last Spartan Red Tape. We have another issue coming out beginning of next year that we're going to be doing a crowdfunder for, which is the Last Spartan Lone Wolf. And it's carrying on to the next step of this series that we're trying to develop. So that's the stage that we're at right now, and just raising the awareness for it and getting people to listen and hopefully be supportive.
And do you know where? Because obviously that's not happening yet. You mentioned next year. Do you know where you'll be doing that fundraising yet, just so people know where to keep an eye out? Because they have like Indiegogo and a couple other ones too. Have you planned that far ahead, or you're not there yet?
Yeah, we'll probably be doing a Kickstarter with it. We did a Kickstarter for the first one. The Last Spartan Red Tape was a Kickstarter that we did, very successful, and that's where we'll probably go back with this one, and then hopefully get it into the comic book shops after that. And we also have another script written after the Last Spartan Lone Wolf. So
wow,
things are rolling forward, moving very quickly now. It's, at the beginning of this 15 years ago, I was like, how am I going to get this thing going, And then now you get people like Christopher Priest involved. You get all these top artists involved and stuff, and get the word out about the cause, and people are coming on board and very excited about it. And now it's starting to we got the ball just about at the top of the hill. It's going to start rolling down real fast.
I think that's important too, where people know, because that's wild that you have not even the next one, you got the next one after that or already planned out. I think it's important for people to know that, because I love going through Kickstarter too, and Indiegogo and all these other platforms, because you never know what you'll find, and you can get behind it and make it happen. And that's a beautiful thing. But a lot of times you look at some of these things and you don't even know if it's going to come to fruition. And, there's just a lot of stuff out there that makes you unsure, but knowing that, not only is there another one coming, we're ready even after that. If you guys get behind this and showing that longevity of investment of people's money is so important.
Yeah. Well, like for the Last Spartan Red Tape, it was from start to where we got it to where it is today was about 3 years, and for the Last Spartan Lone Wolf, it came together very quickly. It was like a few months, and then all of a sudden we had the script for the next one, and it's like, wow, okay. So the wait time, we're going to have the Last Spartan Lone Wolf completed before the Kickstarter even starts. So there's going to be no wait time. It's going to be just ready to go. People order it, they'll be getting it right away once the Kickstarter ends.
That's awesome. I'm still waiting on some Kickstarter stuff that I've backed, so it's like, that's another factor too. Yeah. You're just like, how long you're going to have to wait, but your immediate turnaround on that's wild that you're that much forward thinking. Yeah. Well,
I've got to credit Renee for all of that she's put these books together for decades, she really knows what she's doing, and it's, I'm just very lucky to have her on my side.
Yeah, and that's where it all begins. Not one person does anything.
That is true.
But you mentioned playing in someone else's sandbox, kind of. And obviously, you're a big part of quite a few Rob Zombie projects. What is it like? Because Rob Zombie is such an ominous person, like just all over, on screen, off screen, on stage, off stage. He just has this aura about him that nobody really can figure out. Obviously, not only just Halloween, you've been in The Devil's Rejects as well, so you're very familiar with Rob Zombie sets. What's it like? Like, what's a day in the life on a Rob Zombie set? Because people, like, for me as a fan, I just picture there's fucking bats everywhere and you sit in coffins. Like, who knows, right?
No, it was funny because, like, for my audition for The Devil's Rejects, I went in and saw the casting director put it on tape. I was actually auditioning for the role that DDP got. And I was like, oh, okay, that's it. But little did I know he was replacing the Rufus from The House of a Thousand Corpses. And that was the whole reason why I was in there. And so 2 weeks later, I get the call that I will be, doing the Rufus role if I want it. And so I'd never met Rob. First day on set, I went and Rob was behind the monitor. He always chews bubble gum or gum of some sort. And he was looking at the monitor, kind of like, oh, maybe if we did this, that'd be cool. And could we put the light over here and this? And then I'd look over to the sound guys and they're playing one of his music videos where he's got the dreadlocks whipping around and going crazy. Yeah. And then I'd look back at him sitting in the director's chair. And I was like, and I looked back and saw the dreadlocks and the sound guys all just kind of like go, right? It's crazy, isn't it? So then I was like, oh, this is going to be a really cool experience. And just working with Rob, such a nice guy. He's so laid back. He knows what he wants. He's an entertainer himself. So he realizes let the creativity flow. And it was just such a great experience, And by the time we got to the third film we were doing together, which was Halloween 2, you come to work in the morning and Rob would be there and he goes, hey, Tyler, how you want to kill somebody today? And I'm like, okay, here we go.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, what a question to start the day.
Right? Exactly. So then we'd collaborate on the kills and stuff. And it's just because he knew my background and stuff. So it was great. Yeah.
That's awesome. And obviously in Halloween, you played Michael Myers, an iconic character and all those things. Did you approach this role did you feel the weight of it? Like it's such an iconic character, or did you just approach this as you would any other role?
I did all my research. I watched all the other ones except for 3, season which where Michael Myers doesn't really appear, and I was like, okay, what?
I don't blame you.
Whatever. And I researched serial killers, and I did all of that because I wanted it to be as realistic. Because we were making Michael Myers in the first one a 3-dimensional character, telling his background story, how he's a product of his environment, and how he developed into what he is and was in that film. So I wanted to make sure that I had my understanding of how I wanted to do it and what the other guys did. And then I just wanted to put my own kind of little spin on it and make him just a little bit more aggressive. I guess at my size, 6'7", it kind of, the largest Michael Myers, it kind of makes him a little more, but
a little bit.
Yeah. But it was just fantastic. And I didn't really realize just the fan following that it had, until we were filming the first one. And there was a lot of fans that were like, we're doing night shoots and the streets are lined with people. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And we're trying to hide the mask and keep people away. And I was like, oh, okay, this is something. This is, So luckily I had quite a bit of stuff in the can, as they call it, and was relaxed enough when it came time, and we just did what we did.
You mentioned the size and your twist on the character. Your portrayal was obviously so much more brutal of a version. How did you prepare? I mean, you mentioned you looked up serial killers and everything else, but was there, like, Nick Castle is the blueprint for Michael Myers, right? And
yes,
what was it like blending those two things together?
Yeah,
or did you at all?
I kind of did. There was the subtleness and the stillness,
right,
of Nick, the OG, but then also, I'm under the I guess, I don't know what you would call it. There's no such thing as a clean kill. They are dirty, they are vicious, they are violent, and that's the way I kind of approached it.
Yeah,
and some people like it, some people don't, but it's that's why there's so many different versions of it.
Well, you kind of you held my hand right into the next question. These movies received a lot of blowback, as most remakes do. Anytime you touch something that's so coveted, like it's bound to happen, especially in the horror genre, right? And these movies received a ton of blowback because of how different they were from the original franchise. Did you guys know that going in? Like, what was the thought process saying, okay, this is what our vision is, and we're going to pull it out and go full force with it? Fuck what people think. We're going to just go for it. Were you guys aware while making this film that we're probably going to hear something about this?
No, it never really crossed my mind. I was just trying to do the best I could and
right,
and give the fans what they were looking for. Now, whether that was something that crossed Rob's mind, I couldn't answer that question for you. But what I can say is that the 2007 Halloween held the Labor Day box office record for 14 years. So we did something right, and only to get beat by a Marvel film. So that tells you something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the debate is valid. It's kind of expected in a way. It's going to happen. You get that. But I know people who will say that have told me that the Halloween movies that you guys did, the 1 and the 2 for Rob Zombie, they're better than the original Halloween films. You absolutely, there is a tone that was met in those movies, which is exactly what people were looking for. And that's undoubtedly what no matter how you feel about it, that's unarguable.
Yeah. I mean, they're gritty and real, and that's where it's, at for a lot of the people. And after the newer ones came out, people have come back to me and say, oh, we get it. Yours was amazing, type of thing. So, and I have to hand that all to Rob. It was Rob's vision. So,
and that's a thing that happens in horror too, where, you mentioned Halloween 3 earlier, like that's a perfect example where people will just demolish something and shit all over it. But then years later, have you seen that shift? Because I have kind of on social media and everything where you would see so much negativity towards these movies. But lately, like lately, meaning like the last 5 or so years, maybe a little more, the atmosphere around it has changed. Like, have you noticed that too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always had its following, and it's gaining fans more and more every year type of thing,
Every watch.
every
Yeah.
watch, it's it is a remake. It's not a remake, it's a reimagining of
Yes.
the franchise, and it's a different vision. And that's the great thing. The way I go into a film is I will go into a film wanting to take something good away from it. I'm not going to sit there and pick everything apart, because what's the purpose of that? I want to enjoy my experience of watching a movie, and if these people that go in there and try and pick all this stuff apart, it's like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not a paid critic, and enjoy the damn thing,
Right. Right. And look, there's movies that I can't stand. Everybody has those, but I feel like a lot of people need to keep in mind the work that goes into them and the vision that goes into them and the intent of them too. Like you guys weren't looking to retell a story, or replace, probably is a better word, a story. You were just giving your own take.
Yeah.
And that's something that needs to be remembered. And it does, like, you could still go watch the original movie. It's not like because your movie came out, that one's gone forever,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, until you've put a movie together and out there.
Yes.
I'm just like, I keep my mouth shut type of thing.
I get what you're saying.
I've done it, and I know how hard it is. From the script you have to what you shoot to the end product you have, so vastly different, and people don't realize that. It's like it's a tough thing making a movie. Not easy.
And you get both sides of that now.
Yeah.
To its fullest extent. 100%.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And I try and keep that in mind too, because obviously we talk about movies and we talk about movies we don't like a lot of times. But I always try and taper that back and throw that caveat in. It's like, look, this isn't for me. I don't like A, B, C, and D, but you have to be able to take something good at it. You can't just go into a movie looking for that negativity. And I feel like that does happen a lot. And I'm glad that you pointed that out, because that is important to talk about.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. But you mentioned the Blumhouse trilogy, and I was interested to get your thoughts on that, because obviously those are huge movies and all that. And you donning the crown, I guess, or the mask of Michael Myers. What do you think of the Blumhouse trilogy?
I've seen them. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, my Michael Myers didn't need to get saved, but whatever.
Interesting turn it took, for sure.
Yes. I mean, like I say, it is what it is. It's another version, that people get to watch.
Yeah, yeah, and it was weird seeing the praise for Halloween Kills too. And I'm so happy I get to talk to you about this specifically, because and I liked Halloween Kills. I liked Halloween 2018 a lot. I hate a lot of things about Halloween Ends. That's kind of my view on the trilogy, but Halloween Kills got so much praise, and I was sitting there like, wait a minute, how many of you were mad at how brutal the Rob Zombie Myers was? But look at this, like, it's basically the same type of Myers.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it's hard to. I don't know whether that's because John Carpenter was back involved or what. I mean, who knows? Who knows? They all stand on their own,
Yeah. And that's what people have to remember too. Different timelines, different visions, different everything. They're all their own story. 100%.
Exactly. I'm going Switzerland. I'm neutral on all of this.
You're a smart man. The sets of these films, like specifically you could talk about Devil's Rejects too, but specifically these Halloween films, you were surrounded by Dee Wallace, Bill Moseley, Brad Dourif. The list goes on. Danielle Harris. Like, you're around horror royalty on these sets. What was it like in the atmosphere of being with or around and working with all of these legends in the industry?
It was amazing. I kind of like to goof around on set and have fun. And so did everybody else there. You're like, oh, we kill people and stuff, but yeah, we just would have fun and interact and then Rob would be like, hey, rolling, and we're like, oh, wait, we better get serious here type of thing. And so it was just like it became family. We all became kind of family, you know.
Yes.
I'm really close with Scout. I actually officiated her wedding, and she got me ordained for the damn thing. And I'm like, oh man. But
That's cool.
yeah, that that's a crazy story too. You know, it's like she was talking to me saying, "Hey, I'm getting married. I want you to marry me." I'm like, I'm not doing this. And Renee was on the call also, but she was upstairs, and she just yells down, "You're already ordained. You're doing it." She ordained me online. And I was like, "Oh,
is that even legal?"
I said to Scott, I go, "I don't know how legal your marriage is, but you're married, so whatever." But
Full
yes,
circle moment.
right. So we've become all of us really, really close. So which is cool, you know. And I run into the little kids sometimes from it, and they're doing great, and it's just like it's just like family.
And you get that vibe too, really from all of the Rob Zombie project. Like, you know, you could look at The Devil's Rejects and The House of a Thousand, like that whole trilogy that he had. The cast is so like, there's just certain, Chucky is a good example too, especially from the films. There's just that tight knit involves always the same people in there, and you know, there's just that, like, that comes across to the viewer.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is 100% the vibe that we get from these movies and really all of his projects, where it is a family oriented thing on that we're watching on screen and even behind the camera.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, making a movie, people call it going through the trenches. You want to go through the trenches with someone that you can trust, that is like family, that's got your back, you know, because it's not an easy thing to do. You're slugging away for 12, 14, sometimes 16 hours a day, and you got to count on the people that are there with you, you know, and we've all become family.
Yeah. And you mentioned, I'm a nerd for this kind of stuff. You mentioned saying that you like to mess around on the sets, and whenever a killer is, you know, you kind of hold a little more power to fuck with people when you're on set and everything. Could you tell us anything that you did that was like extra funny? Because I love that kind of stuff.
Oh God. I mean, well, if you look at the blooper reels, you can see some of the crazy shit, but
yeah.
Like this is a story that Scout even tells, you know. She was doing the scene where Danielle dies in the bathroom in 2, you know, she's just covered in blood, and that room was horrific, you know, just trying to walk through it, you're slipping all over the place because of the amount of blood that was in there, and she had a hard time coming out of it, you know, and she came running down to me. I was outside, and she says, "Tyler, I can't stop. I can't get out of this." I said, "Oh God, get me a van and get me out of here." And she just goes, "You asshole," and hit me. And she started laughing, you know. So just moments like that where you could help a person, but you know you're going to screw with them too. Fantastic.
It's got to be irresistible. It's got to.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were there any props that you are proud of that you can legally say that you you took from one of these? Because, you know, like I'm sure in the back of your mind, like, you're making a Halloween movie. Like, is there, like, can you sneak anything off set that you are able to cherish forever?
Yeah, well, you know, the knife from the first one, the hero knife, the props guy was a huge, huge, huge fan of Halloween. And the very last scene that we shot, he came and presented it to me, and he said, "This is for you. You deserve this. Or thank you for bringing Michael Myers back," you know?
Yeah.
And so I have that. That is something that I will cherish forever. It's I'm actually looking at it in my office right now, you know? So it's that, and then I've got some other things and stuff like that. It's, you know, I'm going to a whole different franchise from the X-Men, the dog tags that I stole from Wolverine. I've got those, you know, just the little things that you keep that mean something.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so awesome. And honestly, the guy who gave it to you is 100% right. Like, to horror fans, you know, to you, I mean, I don't know the weight of it that it was to you personally, but a lot of actors look at these roles and they sometimes don't really recognize the weight that they have to fans. But, like, even speaking personally for myself, like, I grew up on Michael Myers, Jason and all them. Like, you're in charge of a character. Yeah, it's Rob's vision and there's writing and all these things that go into production, but you're on screen. That's you, and you have to put that work in to make this movie and this character and play your part in it. And it's such a big deal, like it. If you don't put the energy into it that it deserves, that comes through on screen. All these things that go into making something great and living up to that role of Michael Myers, in such a demanding role as a killer in a movie. Like, that's not being an actor and not knowing shit about shit like I do. Like, it looks like one of the hardest things you could do. It's a lot of work in there, but yeah, you killed it, dude. No pun intended.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot to me for him to do that and hand me that knife. And
Yeah.
the main thing, it meant that we were done. Because, when you're, like you say, killing people's hard work.
Yeah.
You got to do it from different angles and stuff like that. And it's an intense thing. Like, one of my favorite kills is the nurse kill in Halloween 2. And it's so brutal. Me stabbing her like 30 times or however many times it is. And I was just exhausted at the end of that. And then Rob just yells, "One more." And that's where that big came in, and, and that just sticks with you. And so, yeah, I mean, it was a very exhausting physical role to pull off.
Yeah. And it looks like it, like, especially, you could look at earlier Myers films where it's not as brutal as that. Like, I mean, it looked real, it made you uncomfortable because of how brutal it was, like all those things that takes exerted effort times whatever it normally takes for, like, a lower, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a lower level of brutality, like you put, like it looked, it looked like you were tired when you were done.
Yeah, because I mean, you're filming it from so many different angles. You're like, it's like, okay, you got the wide, and you're like, oh, we're done. No, moving in for close-ups, and then a different angle, and you're doing that all day, and it's exhausting. At the end of the day, man, that was back when I was smoking cigars and having some wine, and at the end of the day, it'd be a cigar and some wine just to relax and unwind for the next day, type of thing. So.
Right.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you,
Yeah. We do on this show, we have an event every year. It's called Murder Madness. And obviously it's around March, and we get the full bracket of whether it be killers, movies. We've done different variations of it. And something that comes up every single year when we do this is, and it's randomized, so we have no control over who goes against who or anything like that, or it probably would have been done already. But every single year we do this, the conversation comes up of, what if the original Michael Myers went up against Rob Zombie's Michael Myers? Trying to be as unbiased as you could be, how do you think that matchup would go? Cage match, fight to the death. Who comes out?
I'd say it'd take about 2 seconds, and I'd be walking out of there.
Holy shit. 2 seconds. Wow. Okay.
Impressive.
I'll give him 3.
Damn. All right. Okay. I love the answer.
I'm just saying, I got a trained background, and so mine is a little bit viciousser.
And 100%. I mean, like, again, things that cannot be denied. Like that. Going from what we've seen those variations of the characters do, you didn't fuck around.
Nope, not at all.
The last Myers question I had for you, and I don't know how much of a gamer you are, Tyler. Are you aware of the game Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, I have heard about it, and some people play with Michael Myers in there.
They do, and the game is known for its licenses, bringing different characters in from all these great movies. And Michael Myers has been in there a long time. Like, it was their first licensed character back. Cass, you could probably correct me. 2018, I believe that he came into the game.
Yeah, around then.
Yeah, and nothing's really changed. He's been what he's been. In-game stuff has changed, but his look, his appearance, his cosmetics have been what they've been since then. And a lot of people are dying for something new for him, different cosmetics, different looks. And Rob Zombie's Halloween comes up constantly.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've been approached about? You would be interested in doing? What do you think about a Rob Zombie, Michael Myers chapter in Dead by Daylight?
I think that'd be awesome. He'd definitely be the most intense and aggressive.
Yeah.
And maybe they need that, But now I'm gonna have to go check it out. I'm generally a Call of Duty guy, but
oh boy,
I'll have to check it out.
I get my ass whooped too much in shooters to be messing around on Call of Duty. That's not the place for me.
Well, I do too, and it sucks when it's a little kid,
Yeah.
You come across them like, I got you. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Do you know who I am, kid?
Right. I will kill you in front of a camera, okay? You shut your mouth.
I know where you live.
And Cass and a bunch of our other friends make me get on Fortnite constantly.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm like, I just got my ass whooped by a 9-year-old. Like, what am I doing?
Right?
But yeah, no, if you ever get the time, check out Dead by Daylight. They got everybody in there damn near as far as, these characters from these movies. And the Michael Myers character is getting a little stale on there, and
yeah,
like I said, constantly, because we're partnered with Behavior and all that stuff. So we see a lot of what the players want on there constantly. A Rob Zombie, Michael Myers comes up. And yeah, it's an opportunity to bring in an iconic character, a different look for him. And it would be a whole different character. Like if you stay true to what it is, you can have an additional, you don't even need to change the one that's in there. You can have a whole new Myers just out of the box with more brutal, a better Maury, which is their end kill, all those things that you could bring to the table or something.
You would have a badass Michael Myers.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the last questions I had for you, Tyler, was, because I feel like this gets overlooked a lot, and I don't know why. You played Sabretooth in Deadpool vs. Wolverine, which was, honestly, I was going to say one of the biggest movies ever. If you're looking at performance and all those things. And it was nearly a quarter century since you played this character back in X-Men in 2000. What was it like? I mean, you voiced the video game, but I'm talking on screen.
Yeah.
What was it like getting back into that role?
Oh my God, that was so amazing.
And being in that movie, like I said, it was huge. What a comeback for that character.
Yeah, just getting that call. Sean called talked to my manager, and my manager was like, "Hey, Sean wants to talk to you," and I was like, "Okay." And it took a few days. It was over the weekend, and I'm sitting there thinking, "Oh God, what is this going to be about?" I hope, and Sean and I did a Zoom, and he goes, "Hey, you know why I'm calling you?" I go, "I bloody well hope so," And he goes, "How do you feel about being Sabretooth again?" And I said, "Oh God damn, yeah, let's do it." He goes, "Okay, that was quick." So yeah, and it was. I just I wanted to see that character. He goes, "It's not going to be much. It's kind of a comedy bit," and I was like, "I don't care,"
Yeah.
And just being able to put that character back on screen was fantastic for me. I'm fingers crossed. I'm putting it out there, the energy out there. I hope I get to play him again and go a little in depth with this character, because he is a badass, and I would love to take Victor Creed where he needs to go.
Yeah. And that was going to be my next question for you, was because, I mean, I'm not a superhero guy personally. I'm aware of, the big ones, but Sabretooth and seeing that character, I was like, holy shit. Like, why is there not more of this guy? Is that something you're hoping can take off into its own thing? Because talk about meat on the bone, for a character in the story.
Yeah, I would love to. That's the whole thing, playing in somebody else's sandbox.
Right.
I have no control over that. I'm just excited and that they actually called me back. And there's a funny story about how I actually made it in that movie. After the first one, I was at a convention and I met these young kids, and one, Zeb Wells, was very excited to meet me, talk to me, and I talked to him, just like a normal human being, and we got to know each other, and then I was coming down from the hotel to the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. The doors open, and this guy comes running over to me, and he goes, "Hey, you probably don't remember me." I go, "No, who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Zeb Wells. I'm the writer on this, and I'm why you're in this movie." And it
shit.
all goes back to me just being nice to him at this convention and saying, "Yeah, man, just do it. Follow your dreams. You can do it if you want to do it." And he ended up being a writer on Deadpool and Wolverine, and he wrote in my Sabretooth, and he said, "No, you need to get the real Sabretooth, Tyler Mane, to play with." And that's how I got back into the franchise.
And I have to say, your scene is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It's such a fun bit.
Yeah, there's that build up, and then it's just, oh.
Yeah.
But that's the comedy of it, Yeah. And like, people have been waiting 20 years for this. It's going to be awesome. And then it's done.
But that it goes to show, though, man, and you never know how small of an interaction can be on such a big impact on somebody, and that's fucking awesome to hear.
Yeah. It's it's like, hey, I grew up. You respect everybody, treat everybody like you want to be treated, and good things will come from it.
Absolutely.
You put out good energy, you get good energy back.
Yep, that is the truth. And okay, so you mentioned that you would love to play Sabretooth again. I mean, that's no doubt. That's no brainer. Like I said, so much meat on the bone. And this coming from a non-traditional superhero movie fan, that's something that'll get me in the theater to go see a character like that. So 100% that needs, in my opinion, that needs to happen. And obviously you're all in for that. But the final question I have for you, Tyler, is the lore goes on for this question forever. And, people could talk about what happened with the third Halloween film that everyone wanted. But in a perfect world, would you like to play? Do you have any interest in playing Michael Myers again if a third Rob Zombie film for Halloween were to be made?
Well, yeah, you just answered the question. When you say if a third Rob Zombie film, yes, definitely. And see, the thing is like Scout and I were both signed for 3, and we were getting ready to do a third one, but Rob wasn't involved. So we were both like, I don't know where this is going to go, what's going to happen. But if Rob is involved, most definitely, I would love to revisit him. I don't know what I would do in it. I'd have to probably rip somebody's head off, because I always like to, do something more than I did in the last one, because there's nothing worse than having, 10 films doing the same thing with the same character every time. It's, so, but yeah, if Rob signed on, which I don't think is ever going to happen, but yes, I would love to.
So that's the Achilles heel of it all. It has to be a Rob Zombie led production. Okay. I mean, that's fair.
Well, I mean, like, I'd be interested to talk to somebody, but I just don't think, if you think about it, anytime you bring in a new director or something else, they're going to want to put their own spin on it, and they don't want people going, "Oh, that's just Rob Zombie's guy doing it." You know what I mean? So, at least that's the way I look at it. Yeah, I mean, if a director came in and wanted to talk to me, and they were going to, treat it right, I'd definitely be interested in talking to him.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that's a great answer.
But if Rob came in, I'd go, hell yeah.
Nice. And you never know. Like, there's a lot that's said about what happened, with all that, and time heals all wounds, and who knows, there's a lot of stuff coming back. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, like, and I can tell you that on the second one, if they would have just let Rob do his script, the script was amazing, but the Weinsteins kept screwing with it and, wanted to do changes. And yet there were many a time when Rob would come into my trailer and we'd just sit there and talk, and he goes, "Oh God," it was a tough battle for him.
Do you remember anything that big, monumental, that you think changed the whole landscape of the film that you guys didn't get to do?
Well, there was quite a bit. Like, they took $5 million of the budget and said
that's a big deal.
yeah. had to make commercials for it and stuff like that, and this off the wall stuff like that. I mean, that's why you got the glass coffin, the pumpkin wearing scenes and stuff like that. And he's like, well, if I got to spend this money doing stuff like this, I've got to figure out how to put it into the movie, because I need to put that into the movie instead of just
Right.
in, you know. So yeah, and they kept cutting days, and it was interesting to say the least.
Well, there's definitely a base for it. You know, like these are iconic films, and it would be cool, and it would shake shit up.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, Rob's films stand the test of time, which is really cool, and
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be a part of it. And same with the X-Men, same with all of them. You know, like I say, I've had a very lucky, wide-spanning career, being in the right place at the right time to play a lot of really cool characters, and now moving on with my own stuff and doing the Last Spartan Red Tape. I'm a very lucky guy.
Yes. Your own sandbox is a beautiful thing. You know, you decorate it how you want. Tyler, your time with us, man, we appreciate the hell out of it, dude. Like you have incredible causes and work that's coming out, and let everybody know where they can get in touch with you if you want people to leave you alone, all those things. And also all the places that they can go. Once again, it'll be in the description regardless, but let everybody know where all your stuff is, because it's very important.
Yeah, you know, I am on Instagram, all of that, Facebook. It's the real Tyler Main. That is me. Check for the blue check mark. But for the Last Spartan Red Tape, you can go to lastspartan.com. You can go to tylermain.com. You can go to Main Entertainment, MANE entertainment.com, and find all about it. So yeah, I would greatly appreciate it, and hope to see you all down the road.
Absolutely. We will definitely be in touch. This has been a blast, dude. We appreciate you so much, Tyler. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
me. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Take care, guys. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stay safe, everybody.
Yes. Awesome discussion with Tyler. I mean, Rob, I really wish you would have been there for that one.
Yeah,
honestly.
me too. Thanks for scheduling it when you know I couldn't be there. That's nice.
I didn't do it.
Always blame Mikey.
Hopefully we can do something with Tyler down the road again. That was a lot of fun. It's always fun when we're able to really get in depth with these guys. You know, like I try and think of shit that they don't hear all the time, things that you guys don't hear all the time, you know, and really try and, you know, have fun conversations. And I feel like that was something we were able to do. So I talked about Andre the Giant, crying out. But yeah, so everybody go check out everything Tyler's doing, The Last Spartan. All of the links for all that stuff are going to be in the description of this episode. So you don't have to go searching through the wilderness of the internet, and you can just kind of scroll down on here and see everything he's got going on and support it, because it is important, man. During the conversation, he's doing some real cool stuff with real good intentions for real good causes. And I mean, he makes great shit. So like, it's a win all the way around. So The Last Spartan, Tyler Main, thank you very much for coming on, man. We appreciate the hell out of you. That was a great time. And you can follow the show on everything, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all those things at Slasher Radio. Give us a follow. Drop a comment wherever you're listening to this if you can, all that shit. Make sure you support the show. You're getting it. That's the thing. You guys are getting this shit for free. You know, patrons, we appreciate the hell out of you for supporting us. The more people that support this show in those kind of ways, you know, obviously the more we can do. But even just leaving a comment where you're watching this, leave a review if it's on Spotify or iTunes, you know, little things that you can do to support this show, you consider doing, because it helps us out a lot.
Yeah, it costs you nothing to drop ours in the chat.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is the one time I will agree. That is true. If you comment on these videos, if you're watching it on YouTube, with literally just an R, that helps us a long way. You know, if everyone who listened to this would do that, it would help a lot, honestly. Even though it's not a chat, it's a comment section. Anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, Patreon, though, like we mentioned, patreon.com/Slasher Radio. Tier starting as low as $3 a month. There is a 1-week free trial. Next week, we will have Damian Maffei coming up. The week after that, we'll be joined by we kind of went on about this earlier and never really got to what the changes were. But next week we have Damian Maffei joining the show. That was a long conversation. and a hilarious conversation. So you're not going to want to miss that. The week after that, we have David Howard Thornton coming back to the show for a third time, Rob?
I believe it's the third time. This time, I think he's going to be nice to me.
I don't think so. I hope not. I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Also, we're going to be joined by developers from Selecta who are making the new arcade game, the new Art the Clown. It's inspired. It's not 8-bit, obviously, but it's inspired by that 8-bit arcade feel. It's a lot of fucking fun. The demo's out right now. You guys can go check that out. But we're going to be talking with the people from Selecta who are making the arcade game and David Howard Thornton kind of hype up this new project that's coming out, because I played the demo a handful of times already, and it's a fucking blast. So we're going to be getting some exclusive information on that. And speaking of exclusive information, the week after that, the week of Halloween, we will be joined by Tim Willits of Saber Interactive to talk the new Hellraiser game. We've already pre-recorded that. It's some really cool stuff that we get into. And there is nothing out about this game right now, and it is awesome that we're able to break all of this, and we get into some really fun conversation and bits of news that you guys are going to want to hear. So make sure you're subscribed on everything, and I'm at Mikey's Dead on Twitter. If you want to follow me, go for it. Rob, what about you?
I'm around at Radio Rob 123, and you can listen to the other show that I do, the Nick fucking Woo Cagecast. It's Nick effing Woo Cagecast in your podcast players. You can find that wherever you're listening to / radio.
Hell of it. Cass, what about you?
On socials, makeup ex-mistress.
Oh, the deal. All right, guys. We will catch you next week with Damian Maffei. Good night from / radio.
All the best of Slasher Radio Podcast.